The Sunday school lesson for September 17th, 2023 is Jesus glorifies God. John chapter 7, verses 14 through 24. Welcome, viewers and subscribers, to my channel, The Backstory and More. I am Audrey. If you are new here, please notice the agenda. I will share the backstory, read the lesson text, and offer a brief lesson summary. Let's begin. The backstory takes us to John chapter 7, verses 1 through 13. Jesus goes to the Festival of Tabernacles. The conflict between Jesus and the Jewish leaders reached a boiling point as Jesus began to make very clear statements about being the Messiah. This was the fall preceding the time of Jesus' crucifixion, the time for the Festival of Tabernacles. Tabernacles was one of the three great festivals that every adult male was required to attend each year. During this feast, the Jews dwelt in temporary shelters, reminding them of God's provision for their ancestors during their wandering in the wilderness, especially water from the rock and manna for sustenance, and the light from a pillar of fire for guidance in the night. Other practices where messianic overtones are also a part of this celebration. Palm branches were waved while the words of Psalm 118 were recited, and I quote, "Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." Verse 26. To this day, celebrants are commanded to be watching for and be ready to welcome visitors sent by God. The crowds in Jerusalem and these distinct images of God's coming to save made this an obvious time for people to be looking for the coming Messiah. The narrative continues. Jesus went around in Galilee. He did not want to go about in Judea because the Jewish leaders there were looking for a way to kill him. But when the Jewish festival of tabernacles was near, Jesus' brothers said to him, "Leave Galilee and go to Judea, so that your disciples there may see the works you do. No one who wants to become a public figure acts in secret. Since you are doing these things, show yourself to the world." For even his own brothers did not believe in him. Therefore, Jesus told them, "My time is not yet here. For you, any time will do. The world cannot hate you, but it hates me because I testify that its works are evil. You go to the festival. I am not going up to this festival because my time has not yet fully come." After he had said this to them, he stayed in Galilee. However, after his brothers had left for the festival, he went also, not publicly, but in secret. Now, at the festival, the Jewish leaders were watching for Jesus and asking, "Where is he?" Among the crowds, there was widespread whispering about him. Some said, "He is a good man." Others replied, "No, he deceives the people." But no one would say anything publicly about him for fear of the leaders. Verse 14. Not until halfway through the festival did Jesus go up to the temple courts and began to teach. Verse 15. The Jews there were amazed and asked, "How did this man get such learning without having been taught?" Verse 16, Jesus answered, "My teaching is not my own. It comes from the one who sent me." Verse 17, anyone who chooses to do the will of God will find out whether my teaching comes from God or whether I speak on my own. Verse 18, Whoever speaks on their own does so to gain personal glory. But he who seeks the glory of the one who sent him is a man of truth. There is nothing false about him. Verse 19. Has not Moses given you the law? Yet not one of you keeps the law. Why are you trying to kill me? Verse 20. You are demon possessed. The crowd answered, who is trying to kill you? Verse 21. Jesus said to them, I did one miracle, and you are all amazed. Verse 22. Yet, because Moses gave you circumcision, though actually it did not come from Moses, but from the patriarchs, you circumcise a boy on the Sabbath. Verse 23. Now, if a boy can be circumcised on the Sabbath, so that the law of Moses may not be broken, why are you angry with me for healing a man's whole body on the Sabbath? Verse 24. Stop judging by mere appearances, but instead judge correctly. A brief summary. When the festival was about half over, Jesus began to teach in the temple. The religious leaders tried to discredit Jesus by calling him one who deceives the people and arguing that he was uneducated. Jesus responded that he was speaking the message of God who sent him. He took the offensive and bluntly accused these leaders of failing to keep the law of Moses and of trying to kill him because he had broken their traditions regarding the Sabbath. If it were not enough that they had called Jesus a fraud and a fool, they added the accusation that he was demon possessed. Thank you so much for watching. Join me soon for the next backstory. Stay safe.